Good morning. 6:30. Had a good night's sleep. Chilly this morning. A few midges about. I want the sun to come up and a breeze to pick up, but no dew. In, you three, in. Rebel, in. I don't want them getting wet. In. I have to be bossy. Lie down. They think they're missing out on something because I'm talking. Stella, lie down. I'll cover them up in a bit. It's chilly. She was shaking out here a minute ago. A good night's sleep. Woke up at 4, totally flat on the floor. Mattress had deflated because when I put the back popper in on this mattress, I think it's a Alton mattress. I'll put the name up on the screen. Works really well. It's really tough, but it was my mistake. I didn't put the popper in completely, so lying on it, it slowly popped the popper, and I don't know how long I was lying on the ground without a mattress, and it was soon woke me up. Takes only seconds to inflate with the bag, so no problem. But apart from that, great, really peaceful. Anytime I heard anything is just before I fell off, dropped off to sleep about 9:30. There was a couple of owls hooting in the woods. Didn't hear no deer. When we got up at 2 o'clock to let the dogs out, and there was a dog barking in the farm, so obviously someone's in the farm now with a dog. Stephen used to have several dogs, but he left. He used to be, I think it's the head cattleman that lives in the farm at the back there. So we've got a new head cattleman, or the estate has. I'm already rambling. Yeah, right, I'm gonna just have a laze for another hour because it's chilly and there is a few midges about, and I'm hoping to kind of get rid of the midges. I don't know if that's going to happen or if it's going to get worse, but no rush, as I say. I mean, if I rushed off now, bagged up, say we left here at 8 o'clock, I'll be up there about 10, 11 o'clock, pitch, and, there's no panic. So, give it an hour or so. Right, I'm going to crash out of my tent. So, here I am. Right, nice cocoon. About 20 to 7. Just watching the sun. I've left the tent peeled back. Hopefully some air gets in and dries some of the fly sheet. It's pretty got condensation because it just never stopped raining yesterday, so there's loads of moisture in the ground. But the good thing, there's no dew today, so if that sun pops up a bit and things get a bit warmer, then tent can dry out a bit whilst we're having breakfast. Well, I'm having breakfast and bagging up. But at the moment it's still a bit chilly. So this is Camp Lazy. As I said, we're going to do searching, but let's have some enjoyment as well. And I've got to think of Stella. She was shivering a minute ago. So I wouldn't say it's cold, but temperature drops overnight really quick, and you do feel it. Rebel never has a cover on him. I did put some of the blanket over him last night, but he uncovered himself like always. Rogue feels the cold as well. They're in lazy mode as well. Let's say, no panic. It's just nice to look out and take things in, Normally I'm shooting around, running around like a doodah, but not this morning. Well, I've had nearly 30 minutes. That's enough. I'm going to peel the other side of the tent back. Hopefully some air gets in, start bagging up and make a brew. Leave dogs in here. There is the slightest of breeze, but if we remember right, yesterday, I got here at 8:38, something like that. And by 9 o'clock, midges were out. So they weren't out before because when we got here, nothing. But as soon as the sun came up, quite high, midges came out. So, excuse me, we need to be out here by 9 at the latest, so we don't get eaten alive. But I'll leave the tent up last minute, so if they do come out a little bit early, I can put dogs in and I can finish bagging up the last bits and then get the dogs out and drop the tent. So, okay, so bagging the bits up in here and then getting changed into my damp clothes. 7:58, get a brew on, lie down. Every time I talk, lie down. Thank you. And there's a breeze picking up. Isn't that good news? Not much, but there is one. And every now and then it just rolls through. Just keeps the midges at bay. Hopefully, it's looking at the sky. It's going to be a good day. And that's what they were saying in the forecast. So I'm going to believe them. They never let us down, do they? The forecast. Look at that. She's got a jacket on, show you. Lie down. I've got to do my brew and sort these out. 9:03. I said by 9 o'clock, so 3 minutes late. Lie down. Over there. My dogs send me around the twist every time I talk. Plats. They just want to get in the way. Leave no trace. I'm just checking. Look at them. So eager to start doing something. We had the breeze. I haven't put no deets on, so it shows how good it's been. That little breeze just kept the midges away. I wanted that, what we got yesterday, but can't have everything you want, can you? That one's going to be a bit heavier. Yeah, that one's going to be about the same, to be honest, even though I took a bit out, because the tent is soaking, so that's going to hold water, weight in water. This one's going to be about the same, so I'm basically going up the same. Dogs are hers is getting lighter, and Rebel's got lighter a little bit. I think Stella's gone for a drink. But yeah, no rubbish. I've even thrown the stones away that I used to kind of hold the dog bowls, just in case they blew in the wind overnight. But I don't want anyone to know that we've been here, so it's for flat grass. And brilliant. So all in all, last night I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. I mean, if it weren't for the rain, it would have been brilliant. But there again, it gave me plenty of chance to rest after driving overnight. So, you know, you win and lose, don't you? Right, we're going to set off for the next base camp, and this is where it comes in handy when you've got the next base camp all lined out and you know where you're going, you know where the water is and where you're going to pitch. So really good start for the first couple of days. That's it. I'll see you along the way probably. Again, this is the pig. I've got to get this emptied so I can strap it to my pack. That means they've got to eat, and I shove some of my gear into theirs, because we've got to get up there tomorrow possibly. I need a lighter pack, not on my back, this carrying one, do me in. It's only because I've got drone and extra food for them. But what a beautiful day. Sorry if you're getting any wind noise, but it actually feels like summer. Boy, have I missed this. And I tell you what, I feel good. After 4.5 months, probably it's done me good having a rest. I actually feel on top of the world. I don't want to jinx it. Right. Beautiful sights. Back at the hut. Let's see what's in here. If I can get it open. Ooh, nothing. Thank God. I check these places because if you know Cape Wrath, top of Scotland, very high end of Scotland, canine outdoors bloke gets everywhere. And there's a bothy called Curvaig, lovely by the coast, but it's right high up. And two shepherds, several years back, rounding their flock up and decided to have lunch in the buffet. And as they approach the buffet, on the window there's a sign, "Need spare food. Anyone with spare food? I'm desperate." Something like that. So they thought, that's strange. So they went in the buffet and sat down, started eating their lunch, but then they were worried about the notes, so they started checking around the buffet. And the buffet has separate compartments, so there's a door, and then there's like a back door for another room. And they went round and checked the back room, I believe, and they found a woman dying from starvation. She'd come up, I don't know if it was winter or something like that, ran out of food, and was more or less on her last breaths. They managed to raise the alarm because there is a phone nearby at MOD Warden's Hut, because they do a lot of bombing and shelling and all that there. And they got on that phone and managed to get a helicopter and medevac her back to a hospital, but sadly she died in hospital. But since I read that, you just don't know. You could be sitting in a buffet in one room, not thinking of checking the other rooms, and someone could be stuck up here for months, had something happen to them, not being able to raise the alarm, not being able to shout out, and basically be in a corner dying. So, that's bad as. So I check places out along my way. It's just become a habit now, after hearing that sad story. Nice breeze. So we've got to go all the way down the Stalker's Track and around that loch, and we'll be pitching just at the base of these mountains here. And that's the pass we'll be going up tomorrow, dead centre. If not tomorrow, it'll be the day after. I'll see if I can lighten this pack. Right, onwards. Just showing you. Look, in the muddy areas, you can see if humans have been at. Look how many deer have been along this trail. At least 3 or 4. But not one footprint. Slightest, faintest track. That way you. Of some vehicle, probably a quad. I don't know if you can make out the tyre, but no footprints at all of humans, which is really weird at this time of year. Maybe the weather's been that bad this summer for them, meaning people in Scotland, that no one's decided to come up here. Or maybe they've heard about missing Neil Skinner. Rogue, leave the grass, and it's put them off coming to the area. They're a bit spooked by it. But normally you'd see tents, even at this time of year, you'd see a tent or odd tent pitched, especially with the weather forecast being good. But nothing, which is great. Once we come off, we're on our own up there. No one goes up there. And I've been up there several years now. The only people I saw was Duke of Edinburgh coming down from the other side of Glen Etive, and they got lost. There was 2 groups. The better group pushed ahead, which you shouldn't do, because it's happened before in the Cairngorms, where the better groups left the struggling group behind. And the struggling group was supposed to come down one evening, and I waited for them because they said they were going to be passing by, so I kept them behind the dogs. And they didn't come by. I came down the next morning, and when I talked to them, they said they got lost. I mean, that's why you don't leave the struggling group behind. You stay together, or you put leaders with leaders. Hey, leave the grass. That little patch of grass there is where Neil went missing from. That's where his tent was pitched. And if you just look above that, to the right, dead centre, you can just make out the wooden plaque that the family left for him to remember him. And as I say, that little patch there is where the tent was pitched. And the plaque is dead centre, just poking out little fawn coloured wooden plaque. So it's still there. So as I say, he either went that way or he went that way. No, he'd come from that way with his friends. So I'm guessing he wouldn't go back where he's been. Why would you go backwards unless you've seen something you really like? But nosing around that way, yes, I can understand that. So did he go around there, get completely lost and go keep pushing on, or did he have plans in his head to go exploring and then get lost? Knowing a human like we all do, I guess he went exploring. There's a great big 6-foot fence here. I don't think anyone would want to go in that stuff. It doesn't look much, does it? It looks quite low, but when you're in it, it's about knee high, thigh high some places. Again, one day I will fly the drone over there and see what I see, but that's lesser of chances, I think. More likely someone will walk around the loch for a little kind of evening stroll or have plans to do something else. I just worry about the mountains because they're so enticing, aren't they? And some people can think they're not bad when they're quite high and just get carried away. But again, you've got to take his age, health. As I say, there's no theories. It's just searching now. At the Stalker's Track. Nice breeze. That's where we come from. So as I say, if he came this way, Neil that is, he came here, he could have gone that way, took easy route. I haven't explored anywhere near Glenkinglass Lodge, and I don't mean near the track, I mean pushed out both flanks. So that's, if someone wants to volunteer or is in the area, that'd be a good place to search. The flanks on leading to Glenkinglass Lodge. Easier terrain, not so crazy as this stuff up here. We're heading down here, but as I say, he might have seen this track that year after he went missing. I came here and it was really defined. It's overgrown a bit. I don't know if the stalkers are using it or not. Looks like something's been down, but not much. So if he came here and it was more defined, then he might have said, where's this guy? That's what I'm just thinking, like humans do. Stella's been leading the way. Rogue's just rushed off out because I told him to go, but I've been watching Stella. She knows where she's going. She's been leading the way. Very boggy, very marshy. Stalker's been down here with one of his track vehicles or whatever they have, and but he took a different route in some places, so I started following him. He got bogged down because he'd moved a load of posts and placed them so he could get traction again. Obviously he got stuck in some of the marsh. I know where the posts are normally lying, and they've been placed where he took his vehicle, so obviously he had issues. Yeah, a lot of water, standing water, a lot of bog and marsh. Now you know why she went ahead. Look at her. She wants to go swimming, but I think it's pretty cold and it's putting her off. You big girl. She'll be shivering later going, I'm freezing, Dad. Oh God, Stella. You do everything in your best to kind of make me worry about you, don't you? But you're happy. That's all that matters, isn't it? Until she gets hypothermia. So we pitched just there where that pile of stones are when we did the hike for Neil Meat. So that's one of our pitches, but we're pushing on to just short. See them white stones in the middle? Just short of there. So we've got the mountains right above us. This track is just, look at it, it's just full of water, and it won't be no better off there. It'll be even harder work going through that. So I'm trying to follow the track without sinking up to my knees and bog. So I would guess summer's been a washout around here. The amount of water, if you look back at my videos, you've seen I've been here 2 summers and never been this wet. I know it gets wet in Scotland, but not this. It's the same all the way back. Some places like a swamp, you don't know how deep you're going. It's a bird, is that? No, piece of grass, my eyes have got bad. I'm seeing things now. Right, what should take me only 20 minutes is going to take me longer because I'm trudging through this gunk, carrying a heavy load and carrying a stupid bag. Dogs are doing well though, and it's a great breeze, but I don't know how strong it is. I'm going to have to measure it because it's probably too strong for the drone at the moment, so I'm going to have to wait for it to ease a little bit. Boy oh boy, back on the Stalker's track. Back there, you cross a little river, you skirt round a mound, cross a little river, and you pick the Stalker's track on the other side of the bank, normally. Well, I got to the other side of the bank, there was tall grass like that, no sign of Stalker's track at all. So I was like, damn, where's he gone? You know, as he'd done a different route. So I thought, okay, I'll cut the angle, and lo and behold, I'll pick up the track in the end. I thought that was a great idea. Started doing that, swamp, bog, marsh, holes, tall grass, and absolute nightmare walking across. Then we hit a tributary of that river. I thought, oh, please don't tell me my cleverness has got me in trouble here. That I'm cut off, I can't get down the bank, so it's too deep water. But luckily there were some stones where it narrowed out, and we crossed there, got on the other side, and we found the Stalker's track. God, this should be easier than this. It's just a marsh. But we've only got to go about 500-600 metres, and we're doing well. I'm worn out. Finally made it. 3.82 miles. I'll show you the time. Whew. 11:25. Unbelievable. Hard work. Only because how boggy it was. So we've got a nice breeze now, but later I don't want to be out of the breeze, so I've got to find some of the pitch around here. I won't be messing about with. Sadly, there's a lot of rock here. Last time we were tucked up there, but I don't really want to be tucked away. I looked at this spot, but look at it. Water. Everywhere's boggy. I'll find a place. I don't give up. I've got plenty of time, but I want the tent into the wind, blow through, and also dry it out. So that's the plan. Now I've got to search for the ideal spot in the wind. As you can see, tent's up. Now you see why, again, at this time of year, I like to blow through tent, you know, a door each side, wind blowing through. Stay there. As you can see, the water inside the tent and the fly got through to inside. But that's no problem with these tents. Everything's going to dry off really good. So I've got a chamois. I'm going to rub over that, then the dogs can crash out if they want to. Probably will. Vents are open. Doors are going to stay open all afternoon. The fly sheet will dry. Everything will dry. So I'm not worried about it. This side is the side we're coming in and out. And as you see, we've moved from that area there. One, it was too rocky, and two, there was just too much shelter. The wind sometimes comes from that way, and sometimes it comes from that way, so it's moving around. Nice dry this side. Around the back here, which I won't be using much, just to get maybe dog food out of the back. It's a bit, there's some squishy areas. I can't find them now. Yeah. Back here. So 8 feet away from the tent. But you can see it's starting to dry already. We've got to be out in the wind. And we're on a little ledge. If you look at the tent from further back, you'll see it's slanting sighted that way, so I've got to sleep with my head up there tonight. Otherwise all the blood will be draining down to my head, so that's no problem. Right, finish off. Not bad, is it? 19 degrees, dropping to about 18, feeling like about 17 and a half. I've been solar charging my phone. It went from 41 to 79 within about half an hour. So the sun is bright. I've been wearing a cap most of the time. I've only just took it off because I'm doing dinner. Gear's all drying. Turns blown through and dried off. All their gear's dried. Only one casualty. Oh, I'm so angry. I stepped on one of my eastern pegs and snapped it. Damn. My coats are dry. Even my slippers are dry. My gates is even dry. The wind speed's about 9 to 10 miles an hour. I think that's okay for drones. I'm not a drone expert, so please don't tell me anything if I'm getting it wrong. They got water down there. They've been fed. I've got water fresh from a waterfall. I don't normally do it, but my filter seems to be slowing down. That's normally a sign when they're quitting on you. It's a Catadine B3. If you get wind noise, I apologise. So that's easy to change when I get home. But getting it from the rapids and then boiling it on a rolling boil, I'll be fine. I mean, to be honest, you could probably drink it. I mean, there's no one up here. Yes, deer do things and things can happen, but you know, sometimes you can be too cautious, can't you? Just use common sense. Oh, even the, what you call it, chamois drying, so I'm going to have to bring it off. That's going to blow. So I'm going to carry on recharging my phone. Now I've got to recharge any power packs that need recharging, and I'm fully charged up now. Get the drone out in a bit and play around from our area there and search around here, and then probably stick it a bit further. But I don't want to get too carried away in the first day because I want to get used to handling it. But I'll take it up there if I can, around, and just practice and get used to it. We might be here for another day. The reason I'm saying that is I've got to get that little pack down. Going up there with something in your hand when I should have my poles. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. It's just stupid, you know what I mean? So don't do anything stupid. Then we can crawl up there, probably on the hands and knees. If Stella was fully fit dog, I'd leave this as a base camp, go up and search up there and go on the tops and then come back down later on. But I don't think Stella could do that. So what a beautiful day though, eh? Look at these mountains. Mountains. Beautiful. Now I sold about all hours. Ain't seen any deer today either. I'm sure rutting season's around now, so they should be making some noise and getting carried away. Right, I've got to have my dinner and carry on charging this. The time has come. We're going to have to nickname this drone. Something with K9 in it. It's on a bit of a slant there, but hopefully she'll land okay. I'm going to scan where I can see the drone and just get used to handling it and playing with it and see where my shortcomings are. The monsters are out. They'll be bemused when this flies. Wish me luck. I've never flown a drone in my life. I can't video a camera what I'm doing because I ain't got no other camera, and before anyone says, oh, how stupid, I'm carrying way more than enough gear, so I'm not going to be carrying any more. Tent's just there, so I'm going to start off out there. If we crash it or do something stupid, hopefully I can find it, because look at the colour. I'm using the oldest battery I know, so for the testing, not for the scanning. Out the way, you, out. They're going to go crazy when they set. Right, wish me luck, because I'm going to need it. the drone back in one piece. Oh, that was so much fun. I was just getting used to handling the controls and, you know, figuring out how it all works. When I got further away from here, it looks like you're really against the side of the mountain with the drone. But looking at the camera, you see how far you are, but your eyes are playing tricks on your brain. They're saying, oh, the drone's too close. You know, it isn't. And I done all around, like I said, big circuit around, learned to turn it over the dogs just for them to get used to it. I wasn't to scare them or anything. I want them to get used to the drone, the sound and all that. Then I got cocky and put it really wide, and I was videoing as I was going around so that I can check on the video, see if I've seen anything. You know what I mean? I was ducking the drone down like that, so it was videoing down and I was trying to bring the height down. But when I got there with the sun against me, I lost sight of the drone. It was like, where is it? So I was looking on there, and I turned it round on the camera, because you have a camera view, and I thought, I still can't see it. So I kept bringing it to me, I still couldn't see it. So somehow I put it up high. So I was looking there and it was up high. So I pressed the return to home and started panicking, because I thought, if it's over there, I don't even know where it's gone. Everything was okay. And it says return to home, and it was coming back. I could hear it, but I couldn't see it. And what happens, I've got it on a return to home to go really high. That's just in case I get in a confused state, like in between valleys or something like that. It will get up and get out of the problem and then come back to me. So then all of a sudden I could hear it getting nearer and nearer, but I couldn't see it because it's so small. And then it got right over us and landed. And then it got to the landing spot, and it says not suitable for landing, so I had to bring it down manually, you know what I mean? But the dogs are like, we didn't sign up for this, mate. What's this? Airborne division. They were just looking at it completely confused. They didn't know what to think. But yeah, got a lot of good videos, so God knows how it's going to come out, but really, really good fun. I had to get out of my system so that I now know how it feels, because I was more nervous than anything, because, you know, it's an expensive drone. I got one that's got a really good camera, hence not for me to kind of take great shots, which I probably will do, but it was a good camera for actually scanning the ground. It's a DJI Air 2S, so it's quite a size, but it's got a really good camera on it, and I've got plenty of batteries. So tomorrow, well, if it's not tomorrow I might take it on the northern side and do the bank. I want to do that, save me doing a lot of leg work. But when I get on the valleys, I want to get up high and scan down, you know what I mean? Just in case I've missed anything. But, oh, so much fun, but nervous at one point, as I say, when it went over there. And I couldn't see it against the background, even with the yellow. And for some reason, I put it up high, I don't know. But when it goes distance, it's like a speck in the sky. So you're looking at the camera view and you're going, you've got to know where you are. That's one big thing. And when you're in the middle of moorland like here, you scan round. Now I knew where I was heading it back, but I just couldn't see it, even though it was coming back. But as I say, I've got it in a panic situation. Like, I just press return to home, it'll go right up. And the reason I've got it to do that, as I say, just in case I'm in some obstacles or in some kind of problem, I just want it, rather than clash or crash or something like that, get out and then come over and come back. But it's within the boundaries of you're allowed to fly a drone. Hence why I've also made it fluorescent, not just to find it if it does crash, but if for some stupid reason we get, well, not stupid reason, for serious reason, we get a helicopter flying low, you know what I mean? They sometimes come around the corners and you don't see them until the last minute. I can land it, but the point is, it might be upon us, you know what I mean? But hopefully it'll see a yellow drone. I hope we never ever get to a situation like that. And it's also not to scare deer or anything like that, so make it bright, they can see it wherever it is and get out of the way, you know what I mean? Whereas if it was grey against this rock, imagine if it crashed. See some of this rock? You'll never pick it up. Something's beeping. Been touching 24 degrees at times. Now I've got that out, it's going to show me to be a liar. So that breeze has just come back. There's been no breeze for about 20 minutes. So I'm going searching. I'm bored. What time is it? So I'm going to take my Garmin, SOS, GPS, whatever you like to call it, and a trekking plough, and just scan these ledge around here. I've not done anything over this way. You never know, do you? You just never know. Just having fun. Don't want to be stuck in the tent when the weather's like this. So I've been right inside up that valley. Sorry, you're going to unfocus. And scanned there 3/4 up. Stopped at that big boulder that's 3/4 of the way up. And last winter March, I scanned up there on the left hand side to the big boulder. Then I came over the brow here, and if you remember right, over that brow there, there's a lot of leg breakers. It was massive holes. Now, when me and a volunteer came up, we covered up along the river and went round, but there was a little section here we missed. Just a big chunk, but I'm looking. The other thing I've been noticing, you won't pick it out on this, I don't think. There's something been reflecting there, dead centre along the river. Now I've looked on the binoculars, and it looks like peat bog, but something shiny. Now, all the rocks are not shining. That doesn't mean it's not a rock. Could be anything. Could be a piece of birch or something like that that's been bleached. But it's something to check when I get back, because that's been standing out looking at me from all angles up this way. So we go back along that way when we go out, so I will check that. It's dead centre. But for now, I told the dogs to leave. There's the tent over there. And I left. This is me. What happens if I die? I've got my Garmin. Right. Let's have a look. Get up on there, scan down, come down, round and back to the tent. As I say, I've done all that. The aim of the game is, you see, when that pack's lighter, I can strap it to the back. We can go all the way up to the end of this valley. Find a way to the tops. There is supposed to be a way. I'm going to have to try and find it. Go along the tops, all the way behind this big mountain or whatever here, and then come back down that valley there. But we'll have to pitch on the tops one night. And then come back here and probably pitch in that same spot as a base camp just to rest. I was going to then do the northern side, but because I've got to get the pack light, and I'll just swap it round and do the northern side tomorrow and then head up the valleys and over the tops. You know, I'm carrying 62 pounds, 14 in the other one. Say I lost a couple of pounds with dog food. Oh, sorry, you've gone all fuzzy. Say 60 pounds. I ain't lost that much because I didn't eat. I had sandwiches, rolls, sorry, yesterday. Didn't have any hot food, hot drink, but not hot food. There's just a couple of bags of dog food came out, so I've got less than that weight. Otherwise, I cannot go up there carrying something in my hand as well as a heavy pack. It's dangerous. Your kind of balances all off. You'll be stressing about carrying that and not concentrating where you put your feet. Then hopefully I can transfer some stuff to the dogs' packs and then the rest into mine. So I'll be carrying around 58, 59 pounds still up there. Which is still a slog, but I can do it. I know what I can do and what I can't, and I can do that. But yeah. I don't like carrying that little bag, and that was just because I got the drone and everything else. But you know, you can only do so much, can't you? Right, let's have a look over the tops here. Getting there. Very squishy, as you can hear. I want to get on that ledge up there. Just gonna have a look down. Then I thought I'd go down wide and through these boulders at the bottom, just in case, and back to the tent. I know we've covered that section over there, as I say, but a drone will really come in handy scanning over there. So that's what I planned on the last day probably. Whatever drone battery I got left, I'll scan around there, and then I'll probably be back again to finish our areas scanning around there with a drone. Drone only has 30 minutes flight time. The one I used today only about 20, I think. It was an old battery, so I knew to test it I just wanted to fly it around, get used to the feeling, and use the old battery first. As I say, whilst I was looking into Neil's story and learning more about the guy, he loved his poetry. He used to go to poetry readings. They used to go like little rambles, and this is where I think the confusion is about hiking and wild camping and all that. They used to go rambles, and they'd be in the countryside or whatever, the group, and they'd read poetry. So I thought, if he was pitched over there and he got a bit adventurous, he'd come up somewhere like here, sit on a rock somewhere and start reading his poetry in the sun. Could happen, couldn't it? There's a possibility. Looking at the views. Sorry, you're going to hear me squelching. Big area, isn't it? Not a soul about. As I say, I don't think anyone's walked along that path for months. That track, I thought at first might be quad. No, it looks like electric e-bike or something like that. It's got a really wide tyre on it. Sorry, wide tyre like that. And it was just one single track. Now, they could have gone trials by it or something like that, but nowadays everyone uses e-bikes, don't they, to kind of make life easier. And they have thicker tyres, unless it was a fat bike. Beautiful, but so dangerous. The mountains here, if I go over the top and went down the other side, you'll be in Glen Etive. And the mountains just beyond, on the other side, there's a river at the bottom, which is Glen Etive River. And on the other side, there's a range of mountains there that touches Glencoe and all that. There's been so many fatalities on the mountains, experienced people in all kinds of conditions. And as I say, if I'm at the top of these and down on one side of the slopes on going down, sadly someone lost their life last year, I believe it was, when he got lost in bad weather. And you can be out a day like this and the weather can change really. That's why I've always staying within my tent range, you know what I mean? You never switch off. You can have 24 degrees, next minute over there you can get dark clouds coming over the top, thunderstorms, temperature can drop 10, 12 degrees, like a stone, and you think, oh, I only got 4 miles to go. But that 4 miles on here, it's not too bad when you're low down, but if you're up there and you've got 4 or 5 miles to go, then you're going to be struggling when the conditions turn, especially if you're tired, hungry, and maybe a bit lost. But anyway, get up onto that crest there. There's the tent, and that Corbett or whatever it is, that's where I was on in the winter. Remember when I wanted to go to the summit, but I was searching. If you look to the left, not that little mound, but there's like a level where there's darker green. That's where I was, walking along the tops, or looking all the way that way. And as the waterfall goes down, but then it comes down to another waterfall. And somewhere else I've got to search with the drone up the top there. I might make the summit next time. But I had 2 choices, search or go for the summit, so I searched. Brilliant. It's nice just to have some time to yourself sometimes without the dogs. I mean, don't get me wrong, great companions, but it's just nice to chill. As you see now, I'm always in fluorescent. This is like a cycling jersey. That's really, I think it's fluorescent at night. And red jackets. As as I say, the Garmin for the SOS Future. Doing everything right now. We'll be doing higher and higher ground, and it's better to be safe than sorry. Hope you enjoy these videos. I try not to ramble on too much, but I know I do. Thanks for all the new subscribers as normal. Remember, your subscriptions, I still haven't hit the threshold of 4,000 followers. I need 4,000, and then I can monetize it and then use that monetizing connection to mountain rescue. I don't want a penny of it, as I've said before. So if you're subscribed, pass the word around, get people to subscribe, even if they don't want to watch my videos. It's to help mountain rescue. They don't know it yet. I haven't been in connect with them because I've got to make sure I get enough subscribers. But as soon as I do, I will connect any monetizing I get off the channel, even if it's a few £, here and there, and I will donate it, and I'll show you the proceeds being donated and that I'm accepting not one penny. Never wanted to monetize for myself. So please, yeah, pass the word around. I need 4,000 subscriptions. I don't care if you like the channel. If you think it's absolute rubbish, just subscribe. I need 4,000. It'll help mountain rescue. And if you're a person that likes the outdoors and you've got your own channel, pass it around with other channels. As again, I don't care if you like my channel and you find it boring, but please subscribe so I can get that 4,000, get it monetized, and donate the funds to mountain rescue so it helps them. And as I say, I'll be transparent in all aspects. There will not be, I guarantee, I give you my word, there will not be one penny going to myself. I don't want the money. I'm enjoying myself, what I'm doing. I don't need the money. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love some money. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd be more than happy. I think we all would. But I don't want it for this reason. It just would make me feel bad. There's so many people out there monetizing things, not their channels, but things like this, searching for people, whatever, portraying that they're helping, and they are helping in some aspects, but they're also feathering their own nest, and I don't agree with that. I think it's totally wrong, and it's just greed again taking over through different things. Anyway, I don't want to be on the negative, but right, a little bit further and then I'll scan round, go round. So you now know where we are. March, the end of winter. Came down, sorry, you're getting focused. Where that boulder is, I came down that ridge and down and down, and the other side of that little drop off. So I'm going to go to the edge here, check down there. Then I'm going to walk along here, follow it down around a big wide arc, and go through them boulders down there, so back to the tent over there. Don't know if you can make it out there. Good trek, isn't it? Let's have a look. Dogs popped their heads out a minute ago. All three, I think. Started looking around going, where's Dad? I gave him a yodel. Didn't shout because if I shout they think I'm calling them. And did it twice. They looked at me but decided not to come and rescue me, and instead went back to bed. So I'm coming down from this ledge and I followed down, I followed along the boulders as I said, but I took my camera out because I could hear a helicopter hovering around up for us, so I thought it might go over, but no. Right, down through the boulders. There's a spring in here somewhere. Hear it? No water on the surface. It's running somewhere. Can't even see it running above it or anything. So it's definitely inside. And there's a gap and there's a hole there. sound running down the mountain inside. There's no water on the surface. I just keep taking time and scanning from your eyes and looking for something that will glint, shine, yeah, especially on a day like this. Someone's glasses, a watch, a flask, anything, keys, anything that could pick up. A little glass bottle went up with a little swig of whiskey. Oops, got to put you away. Can't do that video, it's too dangerous. Hear it? Running down here as well. It's echoing. But there's no water on the surface. Weird. Oh, probably just found it. Right, go down safely. Oh, there's some water there. See it? It must be trickling down through the mountain some places. Weird, isn't it, how it works? Yeah, you can hear it down there. It's going down somewhere, but you can't see it on the surface. Right, I'm losing my mind, obviously. Still hear something flying around somewhere. Tents over there. Going through this boulder field here. I was up there. Doesn't seem far, trust me, it is. Oh, I can't unscan it. I'm zoomed in. Far enough. Just take chunks out. But as I say, I will come in different angles and get the drone out and keep an eye on the drone and cut off sections with the drone. I have to draw a map for myself and grid line it in decent sized chunks and tick each one off as I cover it. Sorry, you're probably getting weird noise, didn't hear a word I said. What a beautiful day. Sadly, it's getting late now. 4 o'clock, it just flies by the time, does it? When you're having fun and want the weather to last. But, as I say, for 4 days, next 4 days, it's supposed to be like this. Then it turns. Sunday there's possible thunderstorms, so I cannot be up there when there's thunderstorms. It's just a bit silly. But I've got the Garmin, as I say, you get 10 free messages with the standard, is it a tariff or whatever you like to call it. You can do your normal messages where you can say arrived at camp and all that. They're set messages that you don't alter, they're preset. Leaving camp now, this is my location, things like that. But you get 10 separate messages where you can either use them to talk to a friend, say, having a great time, hope you're not missing me too much, blah blah blah, and they send a message back. Or you can use some of the messages to get weather, and each one you use is off the 10, if you get what I mean. So I haven't been using the first 2 days the Garmin because obviously I'm not worried about down there, but when I go up there I want to know what the weather's going to be like for the day. Now the problem with that is that it's the nearest weather station to this area, so that nearest weather station could be 10-20 miles away, so it's not a guarantee to get anything accurate. So where the weather station, it could be sunny, here it could be pouring down, so you're just getting rough estimates if there's a thunderstorm on the way, if there's a big drop in weather conditions, like from good sunny period all of a sudden to heavy rain most days. Just to give you a heads up, and that's what I didn't have with the personal locator beacon anyway. And if I ever bumped into people, they were like me, they've been out for 3 or 4 days, so I'd say, you ain't got any latest weather updates, have you? And they go, no, we set off on Sunday or whatever. And so you were getting no joy, and sometimes people were giving you information, but it was probably the wrong information, so you can't go on that. So that's why I turned to the Garmin. It's got maps and all that, but again, I've got a map on my watch. I'd only use that in a very dire situation where, I had to bail out. I've got a paper map and compass, so, you can't beat the standard traditional way. that's about it. Going back to my tent and I'm going to crash out, have a rest. I'm getting old, you see. Feel sorry for me. But again, please subscribe if you're not subscribed, and subscribe. I'm now doing like everyone else does, you know, when you tick the bell, subscribe, like and all that. I don't care about the likes. I don't think they, well, I don't know if they do, it don't matter. But subscribe. You don't have to like the channel. It will help out mountain rescue if I get enough subscribers. And as I say, I'll be transparent with any funds I make off this channel. And you'll see it being going to the mountain rescue. I do this because I enjoy it. I love it. And the searching part I really enjoy. Very frustrating in the early days because you're always thinking you're going to find someone. I think that's the naivety of starting and doing it. But now you realise it's nothing like that at all. It's like basically like looking for a needle in a haystack. And you just got to be very lucky. Dogs can help, drone can help. There's no guarantees. If you've had search teams all along there with helicopters, dogs, drones and everything, and God knows how many of that numbered, and they couldn't find anyone, you know, I'm here by myself. But as I say, I don't have to go home tonight, you know. Don't get me wrong, I love going on the tops, you know, and I wanted to do some higher stuff in the past. But I was always worried about dogs. So now, as I say, doing it in stages like this works. Because in the past you've seen in the past videos I did 10, 12, 15 miles. So, but Munroing and all that now, I've got number 400, number 200 or whatever, you know. Don't make sense to me. But everyone to their own, innit? You see them cycling up like crazy, hiding the bike, then racing up to the tops like, you know. They've got to do it in a certain time, getting down in a certain time, back to the van or whatever where they've got a nice log fire or something, and then they're off to another location and do exactly the same next day. I mean, it's like rush. No, not for me. And then you tick off, and I've had several Munros in the one room talking, and they'll go, I've done that one, you done that one? No, I ain't done that. Oh, you ain't done that one? You know, and they're like trying to better each other. It's just like, come on, stop this. You know what I mean? It's not a competition. It's not a game. It's supposed to be about enjoyment. And I was talking to a friend, and we said the same thing. When these go up the Munros, there could be a dead body lying 10 feet from them from the trail, because a lot of these Munros follow trails up, so it's easier. Like the one near Clashcore Hut. And they're so set on getting to the top that you could have a dying person 10 feet from the trail and they probably wouldn't see them because they're so focused on getting to the top. And it's the same coming down. I saw one, I did mention it on last time I was at the hut, and he was trying to get up. It'd been snowing all day. We'd been caught out in terrible conditions, and I showed you on the video. And a woman came to me and when I was outside the hut and said, there's someone going up in the dark with a torch, and everything had turned to ice, and it was like snowing and there's showers and there's black clouds, and I was like, she said to me, it's crazy, and she was an experienced Munro, and she says, it's just stupid doing that. And lo and behold, he came down, and I think I said to you on the video, evening, like just to make conversation, he just walked by me. I was obviously upset that he didn't make the top. I had to turn around. The dog's barking. That's Rogue. Rogue, shut up. That worked. Right, too long. Gotta go. That's my socks dry. Wearing my slippers. Quite warm. They got fur, kind of fluff lining, so I keep my feet too warm, to be honest. Tonight's special is one of my favourites. It's pasta bolognese. I like the pasta bolognese. I like the chicken macaroni as well. In camp disaster, Rogue is flat out. Stella's just resting. Rebel's licking his private parts, which you don't want to see. Wind's about died down, which is bad, but thankfully it's still hot. Got something crawling over me. I think we're in a nature reserve because there's every insect you can think of out. There's insects I didn't even know existed. You just learn to live with them. But coffee's been boiled, so when I say coffee's been boiled, water's been boiled, so it'd be too hot to drink. So whilst that's soaking, I've got another 2 minutes. I'll leave the coffee just cool down a bit. I didn't fancy dinner, but it's always a sign that, you know, cutting meals, isn't it? It's bad. So as soon as I started making it, I went, oh, lovely. So it just shows you've got to keep feeding. Plus it gets the weight down. I've still got something crawling on me. Brilliant day. Brilliant tent. Brilliant dogs. Even though they drive me around twist. She soaked my socks in the first day and I'm never going to forgive her. She was got the bags and she always wants to stay because I've trained her to be behind me, you know, right close. So when I was crossing the water, she was kind of running with the bags behind me because it was quite deep. And obviously bouncing up and down with the bags is causing waves. And of course, that's what overflowed my boot. Now, if I was just going by myself, nice and slow steps, I would have got across without getting wet feet. But so I said, I had my poles out, you know what I mean? I had a bag in one hand and 2 poles in the other. And then I said, go, go. And then when she started running across the water, making more waves, she actually hit my poles and about knocked me over. So I was like, I will kill her. But bless her. As I say, lovely tent. This is I think I was saying the other day, it was a Robins Lodge Pro 3. Now, Fjällräven Abisko shape 2, just too tight for 3 dogs. To be honest, it's too tight for 2 people, I think. Now, the Abisko shape 3 is nice, it's exactly the same, but it's bigger, but for some reason it doesn't feel as sturdy. I think the height and the width has made it a bit weaker. So if you're a single person with quite a bit of gear or one dog, Abisko shape 2 is a cracking tent. But again, you can't do this like open doors. You can peel back the outer on the rear end of the Abisko shape to dry the inner and air more, but you can't open it like this. Now, Fjällräven Abisko shape 2 is probably about 500, maybe nearly 6 sometimes, and that's not including a ground sheet. And you don't get nothing like this, a storage sack. The other one I had, what was the other one I was thinking of? But anyway, Hillyberg. Say it's go for a Hillyberg. I don't know, let's think of something. Sulu, something like that. Again, not as much space. People say it's stronger. Probably is, just because this is rated, to believe it or not. They've tested it, 105 mile/hour winds. I don't think I would like to be in a tent at 105 mile/hour winds, but if it survives 50, I'll be happy. Now prices, Fjällräven, as I said, Fjällräven about 500-600. Sulu on eBay maybe 500, 550 if you're lucky. This normally would cost probably 340, something like that. I got £150 because of that. I can't find it now. That little hole that I repaired. Oh, there. Oh no, is it? It's so slight. You wouldn't see it. £150, and it's got so much space. Airs both sides. Nice bug nets. Solid. As I say, 10,000 rated ground sheet, or 5,000 rated fly sheet. What more could you want? All right, people say, but it weighs about 8.5 pounds. Yeah, but look, when you're in a camp like this and working from it, or, you know, just taking it steady, do you want to be all crammed in a hot day when it's 24 degrees in a smaller tent where you're basically cooking and you can't go in your tent? Look, I'm in here with 3 dogs. I'm not cramped. I'm not sweating. I don't feel cooped up. I've got great views both sides. You know, is it really in my eyes, is it really worth skimping on maybe £2? Because let's be honest, the Sulu with a fly sheet and ground sheet underneath, it's not light. I've had them, so I know what they're like, and they're very, very small inside. I've got tons of cooking area for porch if it was pouring down. I did yesterday and I had no problems. You know, let's be honest, £150, if this lasts me 2-3 years, what a bargain that was. And I was so happy with it. As I say, in March I had, you saw me, pitch just around the corner, that Rubens Challenger 3. And it was unbelievable. I was in the tent, wasn't moving at all overnight. I knew the winds had picked up, you could hear them. Got out and it was blowing like crazy. It was blowing me over nearly. So I know that area was sheltered a bit, but it was still getting the wind. So I dread to think what the winds were. And it stood up lovely. But again, that was a bit tight in the winter because we're more or less on top of each other, even though it was a 3. But you could easily do it because it keeps you warm. But yep, I like the Rubens tents. I think they're underrated. I don't think they push them enough, you know what I mean? This Rubens Lodge Pro 3 is discontinued now, but you still see them up for sale, but they're still charging 340. So if you're going to get one off eBay or something like that as a bargain, if you want a car camp or you want to use one as a base camp and work from it, you can't go wrong. It's sturdy, strong. I mean, guide out, peg right down, it won't budge, trust me. You just know when you look at the tent. The poles are strong, easy to set up, you know, not as hard as it looks. And I like that there's not in pole sleeves, you know, you've got the buckles that clip on. I think that makes the tent so much easier. You could do it with gloves, things like that. So you've got plenty of porch area in the back if you want to do. Corner one area off and use that for storage and have the other area open, you know. You cannot go wrong. So if you see one for like I did, just needs a bit of repair on a tiny hole or something like that for under £50. This was brand new, it just had some defect. Someone nicked it or marked it. As I say, I've got another one, a Rubens Shikra 3, Pro 3, I think it's, and that's like a dome shape. That reminds me of the Hilleberg Janu. It's a similar shape and the cross pole. So it looks really strong, that does. And that's more winter because obviously being more, that's geodesic. It's enclosed, so, you know, bugs won't be able to be blown out. But I'll be using that in the future when I know the conditions are going to get nasty. Lovely out. Whew. Warm. And the wind's picked up again, thank God for that. It dies sometimes and you go, oh no. But then the wind picks up. But it does change direction. It's so confusing. Look at the bugs in here again. Right, I've got to eat my dinner. Whilst these crash out more. £6:30. We had a batten down the hatches. I was sitting here relaxing, just looking at the mountains, and my hand started itching, then my arm started itching, and I realised a few midges were getting in and starting to bite. So I thought it was like the wind's died down as well. The sun's good beyond the mountain. Got to feed the dogs in a minute and let them out one last time. That's it, we're batting down the hatches. That's the only problem this summer. You got to settle down about 7:30, 7:45 at the latest, because the midges will get you once that wind drops. So I'm shaking you about a bit. So, plans for tomorrow. Stay here. I like it here, especially if there's wind. Toddle around to that northern side. I can't carry the drone over. Well, I don't know. We'll see what I do. I might take the drone over and scan it down. Save a lot of legwork on it. And we'll see about that. So, cancel what the weather's like. It's all dependent on weather. Yeah, the midges coming on the net, so they are about. No early panic getting up. Can have probably a little lie-in tomorrow. Depends what the weather's like. Just relax. Oh, I get so much sleep here. I don't get this much sleep when I'm at home. If I get to sleep at 9:30. It's unbelievable. Stella's a bit stiff. It's understandable. I mean, this is the first major excursion she's done since March. And as I say, 3 weeks ago she couldn't make it to the back door, so but nothing, a rest tonight, and also rest when we get back home. Give her a good long rest. She'll stiffen out a bit, but then we'll get back walking again. She'll be fine. Just don't push it. I'm only doing like just under 4 again today, so I don't want to do anything massive tomorrow. That gives her a good easy day, and then hopefully we can get onto the tops, and it shouldn't be. Yes, it's a struggle to get up, but it shouldn't be a big distance to get onto the tops. So just take it slow. Hopefully by then I got that little pack down and I can strap it to the back. Oh, you want to get off? All I do is rest. I've done, altogether though, I've done 6 miles today. Dogs ain't, I have, because I went on that separate excursion. So they've had an easy life, but I loaded their packs really heavy, and Rebels was heavy still, it hadn't changed. And Rogues, I loaded a bit, she used a bit, but I also put a bit back in. So her pack was heavy, but she coped really, really well. And well impressed. So, nothing else to talk about. To be honest, doing all what we've done, and you know, trudging through that marsh, it is tiring, so it does wear you down. Even though it's only about 4 miles, you think 4 miles, that's nothing. But when you're trudging through sludge, tall grass, some of the grass was high as my chest. Dogs have probably got a couple of ticks on them, but I'll wait till they get home. They got front lines, so it should kill them. I normally pull a couple off Stella that are either dead or dormant, and hopefully I haven't got any on me. Everything is dry. I dried the beds, I dried my sleeping bag. My socks are bone dry. I'm just leaving them to air. Everything's dry until it rains again. Right. Unless something happens tonight, I'll see you in the morning. All I've got to do is say feed dogs, let them have one last wee and drink, and that's me getting changed and settled down for the night. And just relax. So I'll probably see you in the morning. Night night, even though it's only 6:30.